Now we have comparable new listings, okay, because I have new listings selected. So it tells me, it compares how many new listings for each month compared to the previous year. So you can see here, this is for Beverly Hills. We have 2021, it's in blue. 2020 is in red. So you can see here, and again, hover your mouse over the graph and it tells you the data for comparing for the previous year. If I want to compare, let's say the sold price, okay, so I compare sell price, and again, this is the average. If I want median, I can go ahead and select median, and this will compare the median sell price. So now we're looking at the sold price, the median sold price for each month for each area. So if I want to go look at Los Feliz, I want to look at Hollywood, okay? If I want the average, then I just go ahead and switch to average. And now this is comparing the average sale price. So now we can look at Beverly Hills and compare the average sold price from this year to the previous year. And for each area, you'll see that each area has its comparable for the average sale price. Now, if I want to compare to more than 1 year, right here on the right side above the graph, we have 1 year. We can compare 3 or 5 years. So I'll go ahead and select 3 years. It's going to go ahead and pull the data. So you see there, it's loading. Once it's done loading, I'll be able to compare the average, again, the average sell price, whatever we have selected here, to the previous 3 years back. So it'll bring up 2021, 2020, 2019, and 2018 for each area. Okay, so there is the average sell price for May 2021. You can see there that 2018 was at approximately 6 million, the average sell price in Beverly Hills. In 2019, it went up almost 8 million. And you can see there that information there. Okay, so this is the neighborhood snapshot. Okay, again, if I want to compare the other data points just by simply clicking on them, it'll bring up the comparable for whatever data point you select here on the left of the main graph at the top. Okay, so now we have average sold price per square foot. If I want days on market, then we can see compare average days on market. So whatever you click on here on the left of the main graph, it'll bring up that comparable data right below. Now, if I wanted to share this report, right here in the top right, we have our buttons to print. Okay, I can go ahead and print. When I click on print, this will create a PDF file where it's going to print out all the information, all the data. It doesn't just print whatever you see on your screen. It'll print a page for each of these data points, and it'll also include the comparable information in the print page, in the PDF file that's being created. So you'll see like approximately maybe 15, 16 pages for this report that I'm printing, the analytics report. So I'll go ahead and let that continue. So I'll hit OK. That is still printing, that is still creating the PDF, and I can still navigate and view the data as the system is creating my PDF file. Once it's done, I'm using Chrome. So at the bottom right here, you'll see my file will be created. Then I'll be able to open up that PDF file. If you need to share, let's say you want to email this report. So then we have the share button right here on the top right. Okay, so right now it's finished. So you can see here at the bottom left, there's my PDF file. So let's take a look at that before we go into email. So here is my PDF file for this report. So like I mentioned, a page will be created for each data point. So this is homes for sale. So it gives me all the homes for sale for the entire year or the entire timeline that I selected. And then you see the comparables for each area for homes for sale. The next page would now be closed sales. So this information is for closed sales. and the comparables for closed sales. Then the next page would be for pending sales. So you can see here, I got a total approximately, I believe like 14 pages. Okay, so there's 14 pages that the system created for my analytics report for those 5 areas with all the data points. Okay, now you'll be able to customize the header. I'll show you in just a minute how you can customize the header. You can upload your logo, and your photo as well will be included in the report. So I'll show you that in just a minute, how you can update and the settings for the neighborhood snapshots. Let's go back here. So the next thing we were going to look at is how to share the report. So if I click on share, this will give me 4 different options. Okay, I can share through email. Very simple, just click on email. And if you're not a pro user, then you only have access to the analytics. Okay, if you're a pro user, then you'll have access to the report and the flyer. Okay, so I'll show you how those different features and then the prices for how to upgrade to the pro version. So basically, just if you're again, if you're just a free using the free version of a neighborhood snapshot, you can select analytics. Then all you do is click on set up email, and then just go through the simple, easy steps as creating an email, right? So enter who you're going to send it to. Okay, and the subject. And then whatever message you want to go ahead and include in the message, in the email. Okay, and then hit send, and that'll go ahead and send the report to whoever you want to share this report with. The other options you have with sharing is the SMS, which if you want to send it through a text message, you can go ahead and send it through a text message. Again, only if you're a free neighborhood snapshot user, then only analytics will be available. If you upgrade to the pro version, then you'll be able to share the report and flyer as well. And again, set up the share button there, enter the phone number you want to send it to, whatever message, and then hit send, and that'll send the report. Okay, the other options we have is social media. If you want to share this report or this information, this market trend with in social media, you can go ahead and click social media. Again, choose the options you want to share, set up the link. And what this does, it allows you to choose which platform, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. You can go ahead and share it. I clicked on Facebook. It's going to log me into my Facebook account. And then I can go ahead and post this and share this information on social media. Okay. The last thing you have is the embed link, which is only for pro features. And the pro feature allows you to add this report on your website. So what this does, it allows you to include or share this information on your personal website. If you have one, you can go ahead and share it on your personal website. Just copy and paste this link here or this URL on your personal website, and that'll anybody that goes to your website will now go ahead and be able to view this data, this information. The creative marketing PDF report, it's exactly the same as a print. The only difference is that it allows you to create a cover sheet, and the cover sheet will include a client's name and your logo. So for example, if I'm creating this report for a client, I can say here, I prepared this for, and let's go ahead and put in Jonathan Rivas. So let's say that's I'm creating this report for this client of mine. I can click on preview so you can see how that report or that cover page will look. Again, it is exactly the same as printing. The only difference is that it includes this cover page. So there's my logo. Okay, here is the client's name that I'm preparing this report for. There's my information, and then the report itself. So you can see it's exactly the same thing when we print the report. It's only adding that cover page. So it'll be like 15 pages now instead of 14. Okay, so that is the PDF marketing package. Again, if you are upgrade to Pro, you'll be able to include the report and the flyer as well in the PDF marketing package. Now let's take a look at the settings, how you can set up, adding your logo and changing the color of the header. Okay, so here you can put in your information. Okay, that's going to appear on the header. There's my phone number, my email that I want to use for this report. If I have a website here, I can change the color of my header. So instead of, if I don't want to use that gold color, maybe I want to go ahead and use like a red color or so, or maybe like an orange there. So we'll go ahead and, okay, we'll go ahead and select that color there. We go ahead and click update profile. But if you want to add a logo, you can right here in the top, it'll take you where you can go ahead and upload a logo, or if you don't have a photo, you can upload your photo. So that way it appears in the report. Okay, so you can just click on this link and that will allow you to add your photo or your logo. Okay, if you make any changes here, make sure you just hit update profile. That way it'll update those changes that you made for your report. Okay. Okay. Now, what's included with the Pro feature? With the Pro feature, you have the report. So let's take a look at the report. And this is a nice report because this one gives you one full page per area. So if I want to look at each of these different areas, okay, I can go ahead and click on them and it'll load the area. It'll also show me a map of that area, the boundaries for that area. So it'll include the map. You'll see the total sold volume there, total active listings for that area, total pending listings, total closed sales. And then we can also view the graphs right here to compare the total sold volume. So this graph is going to compare the total sold volume. Now, again, we're only looking at one area at a time. So this is only information or data for Brentwood. Okay. Now you can see here that each of these little widgets has a link right below that says compare last year. So if you want to click on compare last year, okay, that will bring up the information from the previous year. So you can see this year compared to the previous year. So right now we're looking at the overview, which is a total sold volume. And the total sold volume will tell me 2021 versus 2020, and it tells me the difference. So it looks like there is a almost 57% difference in the total sold volume compared to the previous year. Same thing for the average list price. We can see the difference there. And so for each of this data, you can view the difference. Now, if I go to the right, here on the right side, there's a little arrow. This will load the overview in a graph view. So I can visually see and compare to the previous year. Next, if I go to the right, then we have the information for the active and pending listings. And again, we can compare to the previous year. And the last option is for the sold listings there. We can view and compare to the previous year all the sold data. Okay. Now below this data, we have the 215 sold listings. So for this area in Brentwood, there's been 215 sold listings. So we can see those sold listings. And the great thing is that we can go ahead and we can view the photos from here on these sold listings. So if I scroll down, then you see that it'll show me 20 at a time. But if I want to look more, I can load more. Then I can view. If I want to look at all 215, then I can go ahead and continue and loading more and view all those sold listings. Now, if I share this report or print this report, okay, you'll see that let's take a look at printing this report. All right, so let it load there. So this report is great because it'll show you all this information in a single page for each area. So we'll go ahead and wait for that to finish up. Again, the more listings you have and the more it'll take a little bit longer. But this time I'm going to go ahead and include the report. Maybe we can preview. Oh, there it is. All right. Okay, so here is that report now. So this is the report print option there. So so now you can see there that I changed my color there for my header, but you can see that it includes the map area. It includes all the data information there. It'll also include the data to compare and the difference with the previous year. So it's a great report, okay, because it includes the difference, the change between this year and the previous year. So so each area will have its own page. Okay, so this is the actual report. So let's go back now. Okay, now let's take a look at the flyer, which is the next pro feature. Now the flyer is just the basic information where from the report, but it doesn't include the map. Okay, so it does not include the map, but it gives you just the data, the overview, then a breakdown for the active and closed sales, and then the top 20 sold listings. So out of those 215, it'll give me the top 20 where it starts with the highest sold price and it works its way down. So when I create this report or want to print this report, then this one will allow me to change or edit the flyer, the header. So when you're in the flyer feature, where you're inside flyer, there is a custom header option. So when you print this flyer, the header will look different. So if I go in there, I can go ahead and customize the flyer. So if I want to change where it says single family, instead of saying single family, maybe I want to say this is for Brentwood. So you can see Brentwood is selected. So maybe I want to start here and say Brentwood. And maybe I want to say here, instead of saying, each month, I can say January through September 2021. And then instead of saying Brentwood here, maybe I can say, or, maybe we can change whatever you want to say in here and just say, we'll say like first 3 quarters. Okay, and then we can go ahead and click update here so you can see the updates there. Update that, and so that way, or you can put it, whatever names you want to put in here. So then we have to do the same thing for each area here. Okay, so we can change the header, and then we can go ahead and we can preview the report for the flyer, and you'll see that it'll also include my photo, but it'll be a bigger size photo. It'll be a better view of my information there because this is a flyer. Okay, so let's look at Brentwood so that way you can see Brentwood, what we changed it to. So now you see Brentwood there instead. We have our custom header. So now you can customize the header for each area. And again, a better photo there, and then the data for each area. So this is for the flyer only. So you can do this when you're creating a flyer report for the neighborhood snapshot. You can go ahead and click on custom header print right here. And that way you can change what is displayed in the actual header. The last thing you have here is the embed feature. And like I mentioned, the embed feature allows you to add this information, add neighborhood snapshot on your personal website. So you can choose what you want to share. Okay, you can choose if you want the analytics, reports, a flyer, if you want all 2, 3 features, you can go ahead and select those. Then you can choose which area. If you have a shape, like perhaps maybe you drew a shape on your farm area and you want to just share that shape on your website, you can do so there, or you can add whatever area you want. So if I go to like location and maybe my area is area 14 for Santa Monica, and then what type of properties, and then if there's a price range that you want to go ahead and share, then we just update our criteria there, and then we can go ahead and copy and paste this to our personal website. Okay, so all we do is just click copy iframe code, go to our website, log in, and add this wherever we want to add our neighborhood snapshot report, our market trend report. Okay. All right. Now let's take a look at the trend line. So that's snapshot. Okay. So the snapshot. Let's take a look at the trend line now. Now, like I said, the snapshot gives you a month by month with a maximum of 1 year back. Okay. So again, snapshot provides a monthly snapshot of the market data for to a maximum of 1 year. The trend line allows you to pull up multiple years. Okay, so this time I'm going to select trend line. I already have the areas, so I'll just keep using the same areas, but you can go ahead and change the areas, or if you want to load a shape, you can do so. Now with the timeline, you can go ahead and select multiple years. You can go from 1 year up to max years. Max years, I believe, is like 13 years. But you can go ahead and select how far back you want. Maybe I want to bring up 3 years for these different areas there. Single family. Okay. Now, this is important here. When you check this box right here that says include real-time data for current month, if you check this box, the last data point on the graph, excuse me. Okay, so if I scroll here, this data point will always be to whatever date you're running this report or running the trend line. So this is going to end with the current date. Okay, so when you check this box, include real-time data for current month, it's going to go up to whatever day you're running the report. So in this case, it would be September 13th. Okay, so let me go ahead and update this report because I changed it to 3 years back. Okay, so now we have all the data, the trend line for 3 years worth of data. So you can see here, it starts off right here from left to right. It starts off with January 2018. And because I have the include real-time data for current month, then it'll end to September 13th. So now we can see the data. So same data points as the snapshot. We do have all the different data points, but now if I want to see the data, I have to go over each little dot on the graph itself. So I can see there's the data for each month because I'm looking at monthly data for 3 years back. Okay, now you can switch between a line graph and a bar graph. So if I go to a bar graph, now you can see the bar graph there. We can go ahead and again disable some of these options there or different areas. Okay, or I can go back to the line graph. The other option you have here is now the data points you see, or each little dot on the graph here, it's representing monthly. So right here in the top right, you can see that it's monthly. But if I want to view and see each data rolling back 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months, now each data would be whatever option I select. So if I select 3 months, so now each data point or each little dot on the graph is now 3 months worth of data. If I go back 6 months, so now each little dot on the graph will be representing 6 months worth of data. And if I go 12 months, then each dot will be 12 months worth of data. Okay. With the graph, same thing. You can download this and export the raw data. So if I want to look at the raw data, I can export. And then this will export into a CSV file, which is an Excel spreadsheet or whatever spreadsheet tool or program you have on your computer. So I have Excel, so it'll open up in Excel. I am on a Mac. They have what's called numbers. They'll open up on if you don't have Excel. So here is my Excel spreadsheet, which is downloaded or exported, and that exports the raw data. Okay, so you'll see the numbers. There it is. Okay, so again, homes for sale, whatever data point you selected. I do have 12 months, rolling back 12 months. So Beverly Hills, this is 12 months of data. So January 18. So this will be from January 2018 to January 2017 because it's 12 months. Okay, so now you have the actual data. You can manipulate this. You can do whatever you need to do with this information. Okay, so that XD export or the download option here on the top. And then you have the print button where you can print this report. Again, same thing. It'll create a a PDF file for each of the different areas, depending on what information you selected. So it'll go ahead and create that PDF file. Again, you have the share button, and then you have that marketing PDF report as well. Okay. Now, the last thing we want to show you is how to use the shapes instead of using the location. If you have a shapes feature, let me go back to the home page. That'll go ahead and continue creating that. But now you want to go ahead and load a shape. So first you need to draw a shape and save that shape. So if you don't know how to draw a shape and save it, let me show you really quick. So what I want to do is I want to access the search page. So I'm going to go to single family. This can be condo, income, land, lease, doesn't matter. We just want to go ahead and access the search page. And here we're going to draw a shape. Okay, so I'm going to draw a shape. Let's go here to the Larchmont and Los Feliz area. So I'm going to zoom in here. Okay, so I'm going to draw a shape here, and I want the Los Feliz area. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit closer there, and I'm going to draw I'm going to use the polygon. You can use any of these options. Okay, if you use a pencil, you can only draw one shape at a time. So I'm going to go ahead and select polygon, and I'm going to start drawing here on Vermont and Los Feliz. I'm going to go up on Los Feliz, and then I'm going to go down to Griffith Park Boulevard. I'm going to go up to Hyperion. I'm just going to go ahead and draw this shape here. Okay, so I have one shape. Okay, but I also want to do another shape. Maybe I want to go down here to Larchmont. So maybe I do like multiple areas. Maybe these are like my different areas that I concentrate or work on. Okay, so here is Larchmont. Okay, and I'm going to draw another shape here. This time I'm just going to do a square. And I'm going to draw it right there. So I have two shapes, right? You could do one, two, however many shapes you want to draw, but I want to save them. So right below draw, we have save, and I'm just going to say Jose farming area. I'm going to name it. Okay, so I'm going to save it. It saved successfully. Now I have a saved shape. Okay, in this case, I have two different shapes. So now I'm going to go back to the home page. I'm going to go down to and look for neighborhood snapshot. This time I'm going to select shapes. Instead of location, I'm going to use shapes. This is going to load all my saved shapes. These are all saved shapes that I have, but I want to search for Jose farming area. There it is. There's two areas. Okay, and do I want snapshot or do I want trend line? You can go ahead and select what you want. Just for today, I'm going to use trend line. So I'm going to say 3 years, single family, and maybe let's go ahead and add some criteria. And I'm going to say I want anything within the price range of, let's just say 900,000, and we'll say up to 1.8 million. Okay, and see, we have all that. And okay, so now we go ahead and click on create report. And now this is going to go ahead and generate and show me the trend line for my shape. Okay, in this case, I have two shapes, so it's showing me for both shapes. If I only had one shape, okay, then it'll show me just for that one shape. So I can go ahead and change right here. If I want to go ahead and load a different shaded area. So maybe I'll go ahead and pull up this one that I call Dodger Stadium. And maybe I don't need the max price range, but maybe I need square footage, and I can say something like, I don't know, we'll say like 2,000 square footage to 2,500. Update report. And now it's going to give me the trend line for this area that I have saved, the shaped area within this square footage. And now I can see the data and view the information there. So days on market and so on. Okay. Now I can share, print, whatever I need to do with that. All right. Any questions on Neighborhood Snapshot? Just go ahead and unmute yourself.
Not for me.
Okay. Thank you.
No, thank you so much.
All right. Well, if there are no questions, just a reminder, our help desk is available to answer any questions that you guys may have. And we also do have a webinar on Neighborhood Snapshot. If you want to review this again on your own time, you can just go to help, go to training and help. And then right here, we have register at the top for webinars. And then you can locate Neighborhood Snapshot, and you can sign up for that webinar, or you can also send me an email, training@themls.com, training@themls.com, and I can send you the link so you can play it at whatever time you want to view that webinar. So with that said, I want to thank you for joining me today. I appreciate you guys taking the time, and I hope this was educational for you guys, and we'll see you on the next.